Hey there, it's Isaac from Powered by Rock here to bring Ken Haas from Reverend Guitars into the spotlight to answer some hot seat questions. Basically, make him sweat a little bit. Welcome, Ken. Are you ready to be put in the spotlight?
I'm already in the spotlight, man. I'm 10 of them. Fire away. I ain't scared.
Right. So obviously you've been a musician for pretty much your entire life. Been playing since you were 11 from what we discovered. That's actually the same age I pretty much started playing. I'm curious, who is your favorite band to play with over the years, either as a member or to play with in a show while you were in a different band?
He put me in the hot seat, dude. Yeah. Boy, I like all the bands I'm in now, and they're all my favorite.
No, what I want you to say is one, so that way I can be like, all the rest are trash.
Yeah. Oh, dude. No, my band when I was in my 20s, in the late 90s, was a band called the Culture Bandits, and me and my best friend wrote most of the material together, and I think some of the material still kind of holds up. Like, I like it. I still like it. I still like listening to it. And so out of respect for all of the people that I'm playing with right now, I'm going to say that my project that I ran with my own original music is going to be my favorite. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I was even talking and talking with other artists, and I read something from Tim Casher, who's from Cursive Up. He wrote something the other day. He said something like, I might be the only one who still likes my own music as much as I do, but here's some new music or some old music of mine that I found, like a catalog. I'm like, I listen to my stuff from high school. And I'm like, this is still great. Like, I feel like it's still really good music. It's better than what I write now. I'm like, what the hell happened to me?
Yeah. I can dig that.
Right. Yeah. So you obviously play with Jay Navarro, who's a known lead singer of Suicide Machines.
Yep.
Let me know, how did that project come about? Because you don't seem like a ska guy, but at the same time, nobody really does until they're playing ska.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't seem like a polka guy either, and that happened. And the two things are connected. So Jay started playing Reverends a long time ago. Around the time I started working for the company, he was in a band called Left in Ruin, and he was playing our Volcano model in that band. And then he started using senseis in his punk band Break Anchor. And then he and I started to become friends, and we both share a love for 80s band. I hate to call them an 80s band because I think they still do stuff, but we both love Dag Nasty, and we both think that Can I Stay? To me, it's, if I were to nail down 80s punk rock music to one record, that would be the one. Something about the flanger into the Marshall half stack, and Brian Baker is just a ripping lead player, and he really tore it up on that record with just explosive little segments of lead guitar that I think are fantastic, and I just loved his style. And so when I was really learning how to play, I sat and played along to that record in my bedroom as a teenager a lot.
Back before you could look up stuff on the internet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would drop the needle and play along with the song, and so all that. So around 2012 or 13, Jay and I had gotten into a Big Dag Nasty conversation at one of his shows, and we put together a tribute band where it was the bass player from my band from high school, the Culture Bandits, Jason Mose, myself, Jay Navarro, and then Ryan, the drummer for the Suicide Machines. And we played that record from beginning to end at like a tribute show type deal where bands were doing a lot of different tributes to different bands or whatever, and it was really fun. We killed it, and Jay and I liked playing together. And then he came and saw the Polka Floyd show, and he was quite surprised, as people are, because we've transformed Pink Floyd material to 2/4 and 3/4 time, and it's weird. Yet I have not had to do much to the guitar parts. I do play like a polka rhythmic thing, like a shuffle thing.
Are you kind of just speeding up some drum beats here and there to kind of get the 3/4 time, or how you doing it?
No, they become waltzes. And so a really good example of this would be like, you take a song like Mother and you go, Mother, do you think I'll drop the bomb?
Okay.
It's right there. And then when you get to the chorus part, it's hush now, baby, baby, don't you cry. It's silly, but it's funny and it works. And it's a really fun show. And we play The Dark Side of the Moon from beginning to end. We have a wonderful female vocalist in the band now who just kills that stuff. And we play the Wish We Were Here record, most of the Wall record. We have performed the Wall in its entirety over the years.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun. So Jay saw that, and he was putting together what started out as was going to be a more traditional ska band with the singer for 1592 and from Superdot, a guy named Eric Abbey. He's been around the scene for many, many years, the ska scene nationally. Really, really cool guy too. And Jay and Eric had written a bunch of traditional ska songs, and he had this whole thing put together. And after seeing Polka Floyd, he wanted me to play guitar. And then it turns out that ska rhythm and polka rhythm are the complete opposite of one another. And I ended up being more of a lead guitar player in that band than a rhythm guitar player. And I've assumed the role of the saxophone, I think.
Okay.
The trombone player and I share the same side of the stage and play off of each other and intertwine with each other's riffs all the time. And it's really interesting and is some of the most fun I've ever had being a musician.
Yeah,
that's
interesting because you wouldn't think, naturally assume guitar and horns kind of go together, but
and then it's turned into this weird like prog ska thing now.
Okay.
we write the weirdest songs, and it's cool. We have a record coming out in 2023 on Bad Times, and I'm really excited for people to hear it because it's really different without being crazy,
Nice.
So I hope y'all dig it and check us out. We get to go out and we do a lot of fun shows. We toured this year with Big D and the Kids Table. Those guys are great.
Oh yeah.
And we're we have done tours with the Pilfers, and what's really fun around here is when these guys come to town, we play with the English Bee a lot, and you get to see all these classic bands and get to be a part of those shows. And I really enjoy all of it, man. It's really fun.
That's cool.
It's a fun scene where people have a whole lot of respect for one another, and that just makes it great. So I refuse to accept anybody making fun of ska.
Yeah, I've loved ska since I knew it was ska, like back when I heard Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and Real Big Fish and all these guys in the mid 90s or whatever. So I was like, oh, this is good music.
Indeed.
Suicide Machines were in there, obviously. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
So now, not the favorite band that you've ever played with, but who is your favorite band to watch live and why?
Man, I almost got to answer this by genre, right? I've seen Knopfler perform with Dire Straits, and I've seen him perform his solo record stuff 5 times. Mm-hmm. And I love watching him play. He always does a really nice job paying homage to the songs that he wrote without necessarily being a reproduction. Sure. He's not getting up there and playing the record version of Salt and Swing anymore. But any of the greats, Telegraph Road. I mean, he performs those songs in his solo stuff and just really lays it out there. It's really fantastic. Getting into the Reverend stuff, I can't tell you what a thrill it is to go to see a live band in any size room in any genre and watch them play something that you helped produce.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic. My biggest live thrill single event was Penny and I in late 2015 or late 2016 flew to London to watch The Cure perform at Wembley.
Oh, wow.
And we got to stay with Reeves and ride with Reeves to Wembley Arena for those events.
That's pretty cool.
It was spectacular. It was really cool. Wow. And, and The Cure, is a band that's been I mean, in the 80s when I was a hardcore kid, The Cure was one of those bands that all my girlfriends liked, right?
Yeah. You're like, oh no, they're
And
pop, so I don't want to listen to them. But yeah,
no, that's no. I always liked them.
yeah,
I always liked them better. They were just guitar rock. You know, I saw the Disintegration tour in '89, and was shocked at how much guitar Robert played.
oh yeah,
You know, and at the time he was playing his super cool Jazzmaster, the black one, the 64 or whatever, and what a great live show they put on. I mean, then and now it's even with RG, it's amazing because Reeves plays in that band. I mean, yeah. Reeves is not a guy who was hired to play the people who came before him's guitar parts.
Yeah.
Reeves was hired because he's Reeves, and the guys in that band want him to throw down.
Yeah.
And he does throw down in that band. It's rad.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, man. So it's a lot of fun. And so, yeah, so as a single event, that's huge. But I can't overestimate how much I like going to see bands in clubs still.
Yeah.
We work with this band out of Boston called Defeater, and their live show is incredibly intense. Nice. And a lot of fun to stand in front of and see. And they're just like, and then back in the day, my favorite metal band to go see in the 80s was this band from Switzerland called Coroner. I still listen to their stuff every once in a while, but
okay.
Three of the most interesting musicians ever. And the interplay is a three-piece band. The interplay between the guitar, bass, and drums is absolutely incredible. And they took metal to a completely different place. And to watch them reproduce that sound live was mesmerizing. So,
wow.
And dude, this could be an hour conversation. So I'm going to nix that right there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So 3 down, 2 to go. Question number 4. If you could sell your soul to Satan and get one wish for Reverend Guitars, what would you wish for?
I already did. I'm here talking to you. That was easy. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I get to make a living with guitars. So the only sell my soul to Satan thing would have been if I could have had Prince as a signature artist, okay. And he's gone now. So there's no more need for me to sell my soul to the devil. Okay.
I've already sold bits and pieces to this.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've got a bunch of it on lease already. So yeah, no, I'm good.
All right. So last question.
Okay.
Should be easy for you. It's got to be like that elevator pitch style. What would you say to someone who's never played a Reverend guitar before, and why should they put one in their hands?
Oh, you don't want my elevator pitch. We make guitars that are made to be played. And so if you're looking for a guitar to learn on or perform with or play out with, that is exactly what these guitars are for. I love collectors, and I love that we have collectors, and I collect them as well. But they are made with the idea that they will be played upon. And so if you're a guitar player, looking to get into something that you can just pick up and go with, we are that company. We take the time here in Toledo to really set these guitars up so that they play incredibly well. And we want to be the best playing guitar in the guitar shop. When you go to the guitar shop, that's the whole plan here.
Yeah.
So at any level of player, from novice to experience, I think we'll be able to pick up a Reverend guitar and get something out of it right away.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's one of those things that when people never hear of a guitar company, they just assume that it's probably not good, right? And then you're like, well, it's not Fender, it's not Gibson, it's not this, and then you kind of just discard it. But try it, see if you like it, and then if you take it home and you buy it and you like it and you play it, and people are like, oh, what's that guitar? It's going to be more of a conversation piece, I think, than why aren't you playing a $6,000 Fender Stratocaster custom made? And it's like, if somebody's asking you that, they're not in it to play music. They're there to, judge your style or your look, your aesthetic.
And I think there's a place for that stuff. I really do. And I have some of that stuff. I mean, I have a Sir. It's so painfully nice. And it's a beautiful guitar, and we have rail hammers in it, and I do some videos with it and stuff every once in a while. And I really like the guitar, and I really like the idea of that, like, really high-end, attainable thing, right? Because that's what drives the marketplace. Like, not everybody that is going to buy a speedboat is going to go buy a cigarette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're going to get something cool that totally works for them, and that's our goal here. Is everything that we do, I think, is attainable, and everything that we do is usable and fills a niche for a specific player, and that's sort of our goal, and I think we're accomplishing that right now in September of 2022. You
Nice.
heard it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud.
Well, very cool.
Yeah,
Ken,
man.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time.
Isaac, I want to thank you. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for thinking of us. You guys watching this don't know this, but Isaac was kind enough to reschedule with me because we had stuff unfold the first time we were scheduled to do this thing, and I completely blew him off. I canceled on him without calling him because I got so busy and it completely slipped my mind. So I appreciate you working with me and having me back on. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And
I'm just going to take one of those guitars off your hand. That's all.
Yeah, anytime. And feel free to, if anybody has anything or you ever have a follow-up or you want to do a follow-up on this, you positively know how to find me. So feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Absolutely. And thank you again for stepping into the hot seat and answering these on-the-spot questions. Guys, make sure to go to the show notes below this episode for the links to his music, obviously all the bands that he's in, and also to the guitars themselves, so you can check out that. Plus, we also have the full podcast interview in the links as well. Go check that out. Until we see you soon again for the next episode, rock on.